Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is the Raw Recap. What is happening, baby? We got a great show to talk about, but you're going to have to give me just 2 more seconds while I let the people know to join the show. But while y'all here in the comments, let me know what y'all thought about the show right now. Let me know what y'all thought on a scale of 1 to 10. What y'all rating tonight's show at? Because I really enjoyed the show. Let's see. Courtney's here. Great show. I want an explanation. What could it mean for Roman's 2 titles and what this could? I got it for you. I got a lot to say about this new title situation. I'm excited about it. I am excited about it. And then, man, no, babe, it's you that's looking good. I'm just looking like this. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. And threw me for a swerve in the main event too. So that's really cool because I did not see that coming. But we'll get to that in just a second. I'm sorry. I keep talking. I keep distracting myself. I'm not able to do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm noticing that's up there. I gotta fix that too, man. I'm all sorts of discombobulated this afternoon. I got a lot to say about the title situation. I just keep saying that. Also, who y'all think winning that title? Who y'all think's winning that title first? Let me know. Put in the comments right now. You better agree with me. That's all I got to say about it. Yeah. I know I'm taking way too long, and I apologize. But guess what? I'm done. We can start the show. Anyway, so, again, I really enjoyed the show tonight, and from what I'm seeing, look at this. I only saw certain parts, but man, Damian Priest. Yes, sir. Can't wait to talk about that match, too, because that was great. Let's just go ahead and start the show. Cody Rhodes comes out. So what do you want to talk about? It's a crazy catchphrase, but hey, it works for him. It gets that pop. It's really cool. Hey, bro, how are you? Yes, sir. If you saw me, that's crazy. I didn't see myself when I watched it back. I'll have to watch it a few more times, but I'm glad you saw me. That's cool. That means I made it on camera with my baby. But thanks for joining me, man. So Cody Rhodes comes out and he starts just talking about the Brock Lesnar thing. Then he takes his shirt off. He starts stripping in the middle of the ring, and he shows off his scar because this is where he wrestled with the whole torn pec in Chicago in that same arena. So he's playing to that. And then he's interrupted by Finn Balor. Finn Balor says, if you had us watching your back, it wouldn't have happened at WrestleMania. And now you're going against Roman. That's an unwinnable match. Blah, 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 blah. You should join us. Cody says, I'm not joining y'all. Sorry, I'm going to do it my way. And then Finn says something about you can't beat Brock. You're in an unwinnable match. And that, I guess, upset Cody. And then Finn said something along the lines of, if you could wrestle, I'd slap the bleach out of your hair. And then Cody says, well, guess what? I can because I was clear a few hours ago. And he challenges Finn Balor to a match. I think this match happened a little right before WrestleMania. I believe so. Good match. So I'm looking forward to it tonight. And yeah. Cody just missed the Judgment Day match. So after that, we get into our first match of the night, and it is the team that everyone keeps saying is just they keep losing, and what are they doing with them? They're treating them like LWO, and guess who they're wrestling? They're wrestling the Bloodline. It doesn't get any bigger than that for them on a Monday Night Raw, and the match was fun. Lots and lots and lots of fun. I won't give away too much. I will say Santos Escobar looked so confident and so smooth. There was just something different about him tonight that I thought stood out because he acted like the way he presented himself was that he was a step above everyone else in that ring. And truth be told, he is. So it was nice to see him working with that kind of confidence tonight. I really enjoyed it. In the end, I think it's Cruz. He tried to do a coast to coast. I did not see that coming. That was wild. And boom, Solo Sikoa came in him with the Samoan Spike, and then they hit the 1D, 1, 2, 3. The Bloodline wins, as expected. LWO loses again, so everyone can cry about it, blah, 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 even though, again, they're in there with the Bloodline. It's coming. They're going to get their flowers. It's coming, but sorry I missed the last 2 recaps. I hope that Brock can come in. Yeah, it's going to be good. No worries, man. You show up when you can show up, and that's all I can ask for. I appreciate the support, bud. So yeah, It was a great match. LWO got their shine in. They didn't get to go out there and look like a bunch of losers. They kept up with the Usos and Solo Sikoa, and they just got caught. And they did it with the ref, getting distracted. Solo shouldn't have been in there hitting with the spike, but he did. They just got away with something. LWO, again, they lost, but they looked good. And I think that's all that matters. Yeah, that's what he did next. He is good. I will say, tonight's confidence that I saw in him was just different. I've never seen it from him, like, ever. So I like it. So after that, we go to a Bianca Belair interview, and she's in the back. She's talking about her matchup with Io Sky, but then she's interrupted by Damage Control. They challenge her to a match tonight or something along those lines. You can clearly see there's tension between Bayley and Io Sky. Good deal. Bayley was running her mouth, and Io finally was like, oh, and then she starts running her mouth. And then the challenge for tonight is a Damage Control against Bianca and two people of her choice. Not mad at that. Let's go. After that, we go to Jey Uso, and he's on the phone backstage, and he's talking. I'm assuming he's talking to either Paul or Roman. He's talking about how they won tonight and how they're going to do the thing on Friday and blah, 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 blah. But then he sees something out of the corner of his eyes. He hangs up the phone. It's our man, Sami Zayn. And then those two proceed to have a conversation where Sami says, you're dedicating the match to Roman. You're not even doing it for yourself. What do you think it's going to do when you lose on Friday after you've dedicated this to him? What do you think is going to happen? So all the people that were like, oh my God, they're going to have the Usos beat Kevin and Sami. No, wrong. It's not happening. They're building up something, and I'm excited. And then you see at the end, Jay's like, no, you need to worry about you and your brother. And then that was it. The more to come on this one. After that, we go to a Trish interview, and this is they did the segment thing that I hate so much, but we'll keep going. Yes, Sami. We'll get to more of that, but again, there was tension during the interview. There was because again, Bayley was running her mouth, and Io was just like, I'm tired of hearing Bayley, and she started running her mouth. So there's something there. Thank you, Nana. Sami. Well, I have to go because I am lunch. Hey, no worries, man. And hey, if you ever need to, you could just watch the. You don't have to watch it live. You can just go back and watch it on WrestleBuddy anytime you want if you want to catch up on it. If you want to. If you don't, that's cool too. But I appreciate you tuning in, bud. I really appreciate it. But Trish, she basically, it boils down to, she says Becky just can't handle the pressure of being a mom and on top of the division and being a champion and all this other stuff. And she says, I'm handling it with grace. I liked this promo from Trish a lot more than I like last week's. And I know this is crazy because a lot of people really love last week's and we're kind of clowning on this week's. And I'm like, well, she was smoother this week. She had a message and she stuck to it instead of kind of just going from message to message to message. It was one message. It was done. It wasn't drawn out. I liked tonight's. And she was so much smoother tonight. So she's just going to keep poking the bear. And then when Becky comes back, the GOAT, when she comes back, she's going to just rip Trish to shreds on that microphone. I cannot wait for it. Next up, Street Profits taking on Shelton and Cedric in just a random tag team match. I ain't mad at it. They really, really, really were teasing the breakup of Street Profits on my on commentary. Like, this could possibly be the last time we see these guys in a tag team match together. And they said it multiple times. If you watched the Positively Awesome Wrestling show last night with myself, Tidy, and Albert over at the Drip King of Wrestling on YouTube, you would have heard me say that I think they are getting broken up on the draft. I really am starting to believe it more now. This match didn't get a whole lot of time, but it was Shelton and Cedric got some offense in. This wasn't just a showcase for the Profits like they kind of tend to do more so than what they did tonight. It was a back and forth for the amount of time they were given. In the end, Montez hit that sky high. Tonight's just look extra high. Frog Splash to get the win. Street Profits win. The last time the Street Profits get a win for a very, 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 very long time, because they'll definitely have a reunion down the road. Next up, it is time for the Triple H announcement, in which I'm about to spend a lot of time on this probably. He comes out and he lets it be known, hey, he puts over Roman Reigns big time. Like, In the past 30 years, he's seen a lot, and he doesn't know many that could go toe-to-toe and basically hold Roman's jockstrap, is what he was saying. And then he says, well, just letting it be known, when the draft starts on Friday, yeah, I'm going. Yes, I got some Shelton fans. That's good. I'm glad Shelton still gets people excited. He's been doing this for a long time. I'm glad he still gets it because he's good and he deserves it. Please some time on it. So he shows the title. I think the title looks nice. It's not the best design, but I like it. I think it will grow on me. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world. I do think I'll grow on me. But he lets it be known. And I don't think a lot of people really focused on this part. He says when Roman gets drafted, he's taking those titles with him, and he's not leaving that show, which means we're going to have some exclusive rosters in this, which is what everyone wanted. So with that statement, it's like, okay, everyone should be happy at least with that. But no, they skip over that, and they just immediately go to crying about, well, this new title is just a consolation prize. I saw so many people saying it's a consolation prize because Roman has the 2 titles, and they had to make one for everyone else. Well, dummies, let me break it down for you. And I hate to be so rude about it, but this title should be secondary to Roman's titles because Roman is the big bad boss man. Like, he has the gold. He is still the number 1 guy. He still holds the best and most prestige titles in the company. So any title that gets introduced to rival that is going to be a secondary title first and foremost. So if you don't get it or you don't want to get that, that's on you. It really is. It's on you. This title shouldn't be introduced and be like, this is equal to his. It shouldn't. It just should. We don't know how it's going to be booked. Imagine it was supposed to be treated as an equal, and they booked it like the women's tag titles like they did the last 2 years. That would be silly. It would be so dumb. You can't say it's equal. It has to prove it. And well, again, we'll get to a little bit more of that when we talk about Seth Rollins' promo. So this title, it's not a consolation prize, but it is the second best title for sure. And it should be, because Roman has proven with those 2 titles he has now that he is the big bad boss man. And those things right there are the prize to have. Sure, you can have this other one. It's great if you're on that show. But at the end of the day, I don't even know how to compare it to anything. Okay, let's just say this. I dream of playing in the NFL one day. All right. And then I get to the CFL. The CFL is this new title because, again, it is new. It is not as prestigious, and it shouldn't be. I'm going to be happy that I'm playing the CFL, but at the back of my mind, I'm still always going to think I want that one instead because that's the bigger deal. Now, the second problem I've seen with tonight's thing. Yeah. 1 title per show. That's what we're doing. I think the 2 titles Roman has will get morphed into 1. They'll introduce a new title because they do this every like 5 or 6 years because merchandising. I get it. I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me, and I don't think it should bother anybody else. It's a silly thing to get upset about. But they're going to merge the 2 titles. Roman will start carrying 1 around, and then whoever wins the one on that Triple H unveiled tonight, I assume will be on Raw because Roman's not leaving SmackDown, will be the new, it'll be the new title. So, and everyone's like, so Cody had to lose the Roman, and then this is his prize. He gets this instead. No, Cody's not winning that title. And if you think he's winning that title, again, that's on you because you're not paying attention. I will say, if for whatever reason, and I'm wrong, and they put that title on Cody Rhodes, shame on them. Shame on them because you're screwing up big time. But they're not going to. The story is still Cody and Roman, and we're going to see that through. That title is for someone else, and we will get to it very, very soon. I'll bring that up in a minute, Josh. So second best title. Yeah, it's no different than when the Universal title got brought in and the WWE title. The Universal title was new, but the WWE title was like still the prestige one. Now the Universal title is the prestigious one, and the WWE title is kind of secondary. That's just how it is. That's how things have progressed. So You're welcome. I do try. And maybe I'm not right, but it sounds right to me, and I'm okay with that. And obviously it sounds right to you. And I've had a few people really compliment me today on my ability to kind of book these things or explain these things. So I'm clearly not crazy. I am speaking some truths when I say these things, and there are people who actually believe it. So I don't feel bad about it, and I appreciate it, Tidy. So yeah, I am excited. We're going to get a tournament, and the winner will be crowned at the Night of Champions. I already have a feeling I know who's going to be in the finals, and I'm all for it. So, and I'll get to that when I get to the person who I think is going to win it. Thank you. Me and my girl here, we're talking about this tonight. I'm undervalued, 100%, baby. Jimmy Bebe from the Locks Piero. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, I don't know which one it is. I hope I didn't offend you though. This is why he's the king, baby. Love you too, Tidy. So from there, and I didn't forget you, Josh. I am gonna bring that up. What you said. Judgment Day backstage, and they go up and they start trying to interview Damian Priest, who's sitting there. Dom is next to him, and then Finn is there talking to Damian, and he gets annoyed. He goes, "Don't you see me here? Am I invisible to everybody?" And he's annoyed. Okay, theory time. Then they proceed to interview Damian Priest, and he starts talking about Bad Bunny and his match against Ray tonight. Good stuff. Then Dom slips in and says, "Yeah, and you can smash my deadbeat dad." That's all Dom we got tonight. That was disappointing, but it is what it is. But I've said this. I said it was going to happen after Mania. Obviously, it didn't happen after Mania. I still stand by it. I think Finn is getting booted from Judgment Day, 100%. And tonight is like, he kind of just became an afterthought when they came up to interview Priest, and he's like, "What about me? What about me?" And Priest is like, "No, you got a match to go get ready for. I'll take care of this." It's kind of like, just go. I think Finn's getting the boot, which is I don't really like it now that I think about it, because I love Finn as a heel. Him getting booted, he would probably go babyface, and that's not cool. I don't like that one. And hopefully I'm just wrong altogether, because I like Finn in Judgment Day altogether. So that was that. Next up, we get a Bloodline segment. Man, with these segments. Ooh, stop it, bro. Stop it, Triple H. Don't do this to me. But this is a good segment because Jay, Jimmy, and Solo are sitting in the back, kind of like Roman does on SmackDown. And Jay, he's just sitting there and he kind of looks conflicted. He's clearly thinking about his conversation he had with Sami Zayn. Jimmy's over there being all cocky and arrogant, talking about, "We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this." And then he looks over at Jay, goes, "What's your problem, man?" And then Jay's like, "Well, I was talking to Sammy." And just like, what if we don't win? And then Jimmy loses it, stands up. We've talked about how great Roman's been, how great Sammy's been, and how great Jay's been in this. And Jimmy's kind of gotten a little bit arrogant. Jimmy was on point tonight. He was wonderful in his role. So he gets up and he starts just ripping into Jay. He says, "Why are you listening to Sammy? He's just trying to play mind games with you. There's no what if. We're going to win. We're going to do this because that's what we do. We the Usos." Solo had to sit him down. And then Jay's just like, "I'm just saying, what if? What if?" So again, the Usos aren't taking the titles off Sammy and KO. We going into the end game of this whole bloodline stuff. And I got goosebumps waiting for it. I'm in love with it. And that's not even the best part Jimmy did tonight. We're going to get more of that. They really gave us some great stuff with the bloodline tonight. It was wonderful. So after that, we go to a Damage Control versus Bianca, and who's their mystery opponents going to be. And it took me a second to think about it, but then I was like, wait a second. No, I should know who this is, because I've been preaching about how they're going to start treating these girls a lot better when they're holding those titles. And that's exactly what it was. It was Liv Morgan and Raquel, and they got to come out and stand side by side with Bianca Belair. All three women are champions. That's a great visual. And as I continue to pat myself on the back about this one, the women's tag team titles have, I dare say, feel almost more important than they did right now than they did when they were on Bayley and Sasha, because they're on every single show. They're being featured with the Raw Women's Champion. I guess with Bayley, she was a champion as well. At very least, they're equal to what they were. I personally think they're kind of being treated better because it's not on. Bayley and Sasha are obviously, at the time they had them, were higher on the totem pole than Raquel and Liv. So the fact that the girls lower on the totem pole are still able to get this kind of shine on those titles, I think is it's a bigger deal. There, I'll say that. I was tripping over my words, but I finally got there. No Candice. I originally thought it was going to be Candice and Mia Yim, but then I was like, wait, no, I got to stay true to this. I'm not new to this. And I said, it's got to be Liv and Raquel. And it made sense. And then Bianca ended up trying to go for the KOD on Io. Io fought it, but then somehow Bayley ended up getting the KOD, and Bayley took the pin from Bianca. So, and then Io afterwards her facial was amazing. She really was just like, I can't believe this just happened. And it was really good. And I said this again on the Positively Awesome Wrestling show last night with Tidy and Albert. That's on the Drip King of Wrestling channel. I said, I think Io Sky is going to beat Bianca at Backlash. And I stand by that right now. I think Bayley helps Io Sky win that title and then feuds with her. That's what I think we're going with. Because I can't imagine, she might beat it anyway. I would really want Becky to be able to keep that record for the longest reign, but I think Bianca's going to get it. Because I think the days run out before Backlash. But yes, they are. They're good tag champs, and they're being booked as the tag team champions because they are literally on every single show involved in something. That's major. That's a huge upgrade from where we were a year ago. There's some shine finally to those titles with Bianca, but yeah, yes. Yes, I am so excited about an Io and Bayley feud. That's going to be so good. Yeah, you heard me last night. She does need to get selfish again. This whole damage control thing wasn't working for her. Get selfish. Go after Io after she beats Bianca. Hell yeah, because she knows she can't beat Bianca. So she's probably going to help Io win and then go after Io because she feels like she has one up on Io. Makes sense to me. Yeah, no Chelsea tonight, though. No Chelsea tonight. Again, boo. No Dom, no Chelsea, and the show was still good. Man, that's how you know everything's clicking with WWE, baby. After that, we get Austin Theory. He comes down. He starts talking about Lashley and Reed. He goes, I don't understand why this match even happened. I didn't make this match. And then he says he's got some bigger things on his mind because he sees that title. So they left the new title out at ringside for people to look at and interact with, which I liked because we got a few very cool moments with it. This being one of them. And he starts talking about, he said it's for someone who's earned it, and there's nobody here that's earned it more than me. Then out comes Lashley, and he says, he puts over Theory. He goes, you're tough, kid. He goes, you're young, you're talented, you're tough. Or are you just scared? And then he says, he says, I'm the one that made the match happen. And then I think Theory shot on Lashley. Lashley defended it. He started attacking him. They go to the outside, start fighting. Then here comes my man Bronson Reed. But Lashley saw it, so he throws Theory to the side, starts attacking Bronson. But then in comes Austin Theory and attacks Lashley from behind. And then Theory and Reed begin to do a double team on Bobby Lashley. Sorry, Tidy, I know you don't want to hear about this one, but I loved it. Theory grabbed Lashley's hands and held him against the post so this is the post, and Lashley is basically being pulled like this, and Reed just comes from behind him and smashes him into the post, destroys him. They throw him in the ring, A-Town down. Theory's like, we did it, Bronson. And then Bronson says, yeah, we did it. And then it drops Theory, goes up top. The crowd, more and more of this crowd is rising to their feet every time he goes to the top rope. I've been telling everybody about Bronson Reed since he got signed back. He's going to be a big deal. And that man hit the tsunami on Theory, and that crowd was like, what? Amazing. Great segment. I was hyped for the match. Now I'm sold on the match. Ooh, and then Reed got to hold the title afterwards up in the sky with both men down on the ground. Oh, man, if they put that title on Bronson Reed, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be so happy. Yeah, they pancaked him. It was a great spot. Great spot. After that, we go to, in the back, it's Boogs and Gable and Elias, and they're talking about the upcoming draft. But then in comes Otis, because Gable is basically laying out the rules of the draft for those who don't know. And then he talks about how tag teams could get split up. But he's already taken care of it, and Otis is not going anywhere because that's his number one guy. And then Otis is right there, and they're hugging. But then in comes Maxine and says, well, I have made sure that me and him stay together, and we are going to be on the same team. Myself and Otis. Then they start arguing over who's the number one guy. Then in comes Positive Ali, I love the name. I think it's hilarious. And he starts talking about something. I don't even know. He was just kind of going all over the place. But at the end, it was like, I guess that him and Gable had a match already lined up, and he was just there to kind of rile Gable up. And he goes, I am positive, Ali, sure that I'm going to beat you tonight. And he walks off. And then we go right into a Gable and Ali match. And I won't lie, I was really excited for a little bit, but then this match didn't get nearly enough time for it to kind of blossom into what it could have been. It was kind of just a further story. Ali rolls him up. He steals a victory from Gable. Gable's beside himself. Otis is just lost, and Maxine is just over there smiling. She's happy. She knows exactly what's happening. Yeah, the tsunami is devastating. It is so good. It is so good. Yeah, positive Ali wrestling cast. You wild, bro. So that was that. The match could have been so great, but I'm not mad at it. Don't give it away, because that could be something really great they do down the road. So now we go to Jimmy Uso, and he goes out and he finds Sami Zayn. He just runs up on Sami. He goes, yo, mind your business and stop playing mind games with us. And then he starts talking about, you keep talking about how this and this. What's going to happen when you lose? Kevin's been using you because he wants those titles. But when you lose those titles, what's he going to do? He's going to turn on you like he always does. So why don't you stop worrying about me and my brother and start worrying about you and your brother? And then walks off. And Sami, just like Jay did earlier in the show, when Sami talked to Jay, Jay was all kind of like questioning himself. Then Jimmy confronted Sami, and now Sami at the end of that was left questioning himself. Cinema. Next up, Finn versus Cody. Slapped. That's all I'm going to say. It's slapped. At one point, Finn got to walk over there and kind of glance at that title. Give me some memories of back when the Universal title was within the tournament for Universal title, and old Finn Balor got to win it. I was like, oh, don't you tease us with that again, baby. I wouldn't be mad if it was Finn. Don't think it will be. I don't know if Josh is still here, but we about to get to what he said. Out comes Seth freaking Rollins. And I'm going to let y'all know right now, Triple H said that title is going to the man who has earned it. There is no person who has earned it more than Seth freaking Rollins. My man's here. Good. Because if Seth Rollins don't win this title, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. But as he said right here, where'd it go? In the finals, Cody loses to Seth. 100%. I don't care if there should be tomfoolery involved. 100%. That's part of Cody's story. But I wouldn't be mad if it was Seth and Finn in the finals. Kind of just, again, Universal title throwback. I do think Cody loses to Seth. That's if they're on the same show, though. We'll have a better idea of what's happening after the draft, because for all we know, Seth might end up on the same show as Roman, and then he don't get the challenge for that title. Ooh, that would be devastating and a travesty. I don't think it happens, though. Not maybe. Yeah, no one has earned it more than Seth. That's Seth's titles. As soon as I saw it, I was like, man, that's Seth's belt. And then Seth came out and did his thing. I was like, yeah, that's Seth's belt. Seth beats Cody. Yeah, exactly. And again, I don't even care if Solo comes out and costs Cody the title that way. I wouldn't even be mad. Keep that stuff going. Keep it. That's Seth's belt, though, 100%. And just to further point out how just awesome Seth Rollins is. So he comes out and he starts talking about things, and he looks over. He goes, but there's something else that's caught my eye. And then he slowly looks over at that belt, and it's like, yeah, that's yours, buddy. That's yours. And then he starts talking about, and Triple H is out here giving Roman all his flowers and talking about all these people that Roman's beaten. He did not beat Seth, and he didn't beat Seth. And then he starts talking about this is for the fighters, not for the part-timers, the people who don't show up and work. And he was going in on Roman, shooting on Roman right there. Good stuff. Then Omos interrupts with MVP. And they come down. And MVP puts over Seth. Like he says, other than your fashion choices, you the man. You good. And then he states, but what my job is to get my giant of a man giant matches. And there's no bigger match to make right now than with Seth Rollins, because there's no huger statement to be made than Omos beating Seth Rollins. So for everybody out there that was like, why are they doing this match, before they even got a chance to find out why they're doing this match, they gave you the reason right now. MVP is a businessman, and he's out there to get his clients the best and biggest matches possible, and that's what this is. Done. It's that easy. Y'all threw a fit for no reason. No reason at all, because they gave us a reason. Whether you want to agree with it or not, I think it's a very justifiable reason, 100%. That would be cool though too. But then there's the Riddle stuff involved, so I don't know. I don't know how he would get involved with the Seth and Cody stuff. But I do want to see if Randy's coming back. They do definitely need to do Randy and Cody. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Y'all need to start watching the Positively Awesome Wrestling show so y'all can get some nuggets like this one, because we've been talking about this stuff. Everything we talk about usually comes to fruition. Like, it's legit. But then Seth gets the microphone and he basically said, yo, you undersold Omos a little bit, because he is clearly the biggest man I've ever seen in my life. He is a once-in-a-generation talent. But he is a once-in-a-generation talent because he was born that way. I am a once-in-a-generational talent because I made myself that way. Cold-ass line. Nothing but facts. It do be facts, though. And then Seth basically dropped the mic, then just bumped shoulders with MVP as he left, and Omos didn't even mess with him, because, he said he was going to he's going to pull a great match out of Omos and then bounce his big dumb head off the mat. Oh, my God. And Omos didn't even respond because he's scared of Seth freaking Rollins. Great segment. Great segment. I almost love it to the point where I will go to war with anybody who tries to badmouth it. That's how good this segment was. Yeah. When Seth is getting it, woo, he make people sound stupid. Oh man, it was a great segment. So then we go back to the back again, the last Bloodline segment of the evening. Even though it doesn't consist of the Bloodline, it does consist of Sammy, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and Riddle are in the locker room, and Riddle is talking to Kevin Owens about the annexation of Puerto Rico football move from the Little Giants, that he thinks they should use a Backlash because they're in Puerto Rico, and he thinks it will help them beat the Bloodline. And you can see Kevin Owens is just losing his mind. Sami Zayn shows up, and Kevin immediately jumps up and says, "Where have you been? Where have you been?" Because he's been stuck with Riddle all night listening to nuggets like that one, and he's driving him crazy. And then Sami's like, "I've been talking to Jimmy and Jay. Sorry." And Kevin Owens like, "Why? Why? We should be focusing on these, winning these, keeping these. We should be focused on that, not Jimmy and Jay. I used to like the Usos too. Now they're with Roman. They're being stupid. Whatever happens to them, it's their own fault. We need to focus on this." And then he leaves. And then Sami, again, he was already questioning himself. Now he's questioning himself just a little bit more. And he's down. And then Riddle says, "I know exactly how you feel, bro." And you're like, Riddle, don't be stupid right now. There's a serious moment. That was my first reaction, at least. But then Sami's like, "Well, how could you possibly know what I'm going through?" And then Riddle drops a nugget of truth. He goes, "Man, back when, have you ever heard of the team RK, bro? Back then, I just kept hearing every week about how Randy's going to RKO me. He's going to do this. He's going to turn on me. He's going to RKO me." And I had to listen to it every week. But in the end, we were bros. And just like you and Kevin, doesn't matter what happens. Y'all are going to be bros, and everything's going to be okay. And then he walks off, and Sami's like, "Damn, that was legit." And it was legit. Great writing. They'll never get the credit for it, but that was really great writing. It fit in and worked amazingly. He calmed him down, and it was again, he was goofy, but it was goofy in a sense that it still worked. Seth, the new title, yeah. But here's the thing: I think we're all gonna get excited about Seth winning the title, and then he's not gonna win. That would be some stuff they pulled on me. Oh, and just so we're also clear, let's go back to Ali and Gable real quick, because before the show, I just kept hearing about Vince McMahon made some rewrites. You want to know how I know that that's not true? Because Ali is from Chicago, and that man got to have a win in Chicago, his hometown. Vince don't do those things. That would have been the first thing he had changed on that thing. So I ain't listening to it. Keep your mouth quiet about it. I ain't listening to it. But now it's time for the main event. Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest. Slapped, just like Cody and Finn. That's all I'm going to say about it. Slapped. Throughout the night, they were kind of teasing Bad Bunny showing up because they definitely promoted him to be there. And he was on his way from the airport. Then he was outside the arena. And then towards the end of at the end of the match, Rey was starting to get the upper hand. Damian just took a chair and threw it at his head and got disqualified. Then he tried to go throw him through the table. Choke slam through the table like he did old Bad Bunny. Then Bad Bunny's music hits and he comes out. He's got a kendo stick in his hand. And Priest's like, okay. They get in the ring, and then Priest gets just beat down with this kendo stick. They go to the outside, and at one point, it looks like Priest is about to get the upper hand again, but then Bad Bunny, they're both on top of the table. Priest jumps down, or no, Bunny jumps down and then hits his legs with the kendo stick, and he falls. Priest ends up running away. Bad Bunny gets a microphone, and this is where they threw me for a curve because I really thought we were getting Priest, Dom versus Rey, and Bad Bunny at Backlash. I guess we still probably could. We still have another week before that. But then Bad Bunny says, just so you know, Priest, I'm not hosting Backlash anymore. And Priest's like, what? I don't care. What? He cares. He goes, instead of hosting, I'm going to be kicking your ass in no holds barred match. Street fight. My bad. There you go. He's going to kick his ass in a street fight. So we're getting Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny in a street fight Backlash. No Dom involved. I'm not mad because I do like some Priest, and I like seeing him get these moments. He better beat Bunny for sure. Oh, my goodness. I'll be mad if he doesn't beat Bunny. But I am a little bit kind of thrown for a loop because I definitely thought they were doing a tag match. But they're not. So, but a great way to end the show. A great way to end a great show. A lot of just really, really good stuff. Street fight in Puerto Rico. Damian sold me on the Bad Bunny match. It'll be good. It'll definitely be good. Dom's going to be getting involved. Then Rey will come in, and that'll keep that thing going. And that's fine and all. But it's wild. I thought Dom being in this position with Bad Bunny would be really cool. If Cody wins, Cody is not winning that title. I'd bet my life on it. He's not winning that title at Clash of Champions or Night of Champions. It's not happening. Cody's story is to beat Roman Reigns. That's the story. And I if they deviate away from that, I would literally blow my mind. I would be just shocked. Cody's not winning it. It has to be Seth. It just has to be Seth. Unless they threw me for a loop and they give it to Finn. I don't know. There's some choices out there. Cody isn't one of them, though. Definitely isn't one of them. Damian has been on a hot streak this year. Goes unnoticed by a lot of people, but I ain't missing it. Priest he's legit. I think he's just been fantastic this year and unsung hero of the show because every time he gets on in the ring, he shines. He hasn't had a bad match all year. And then his segments have gotten better. He stumbled over a few words, but everybody does. I'm not going to bitch about that like other people. Cody's belt is the one Roman has. End of story there. Like that's Cody's belt. When he wins that one and dethrones Roman Reigns and loses, and then 2 years go down the road, and then Cody wins this time. Yeah, sure, that could happen for sure. But then that's so far down the road, I ain't worrying about it. As of right now, that belt is not for Cody. It's not part of his story. That again, if Cody won that, all the consolation prize comments I saw tonight are actually true. That's the kind of person I am. I'll admit I was wrong. That would be a 100% fact if Cody gets that title instead of beating Roman for his. That's a consolation prize, and it would be such a BS move. I don't think that's what's happening. I'm almost positive that's not what's happening. IC title him, tag team on US title again, and better. Yeah. Man, I'm imagining like a Priest and Gunther. Ooh, man, that would be a good program. He ain't beating Gunther, but that'd be a good program. Put the US title back on Priest. I thought he had a good run with it. He'd have a much better run now that the belt actually means something, though. Yeah, that's the show. Fantastic show. I think this is 2 weeks in a row now. I've really enjoyed the show. And you can clearly tell. I feel like you can get my energy from how good the show was because I'm here with some just energy tonight. So they on a roll heading into Backlash. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I can't wait to see what happens with this tournament for the new champion. I can't wait for this draft. I really can't because again, if they're going to have exclusive rosters, thank you. No more bouncing between shows. Stick to your show, baby. That's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I think we're getting. Thank you, Tidy, as always. Much appreciated. And thank you, everybody else that joined me. And we had Courtney, we had David, we had Josh. Thank you, everybody that was joining. My girl, she came in, told me how good I looked. She's just hyping me up, though. That's what she does. But I appreciate it. It's all appreciated. I will be back next week for another Raw recap. Hopefully, we can make it 3 weeks in a row of amazing Monday Night Raw. That would be fantastic. Also, Sunday night, I will be back with Tidy and Albert over at the Drip King of Wrestling on YouTube, the channel where we do the Positively Awesome Wrestling. Not sure what we're talking about yet. I'm sure this new title will be a topic, though. I'm sure it will be. We'll probably discuss options and tournaments and all the other stuff. So that'll be fun. So there you go. I just told you what's happening. I figured it out. There you go, Tidy. Now you know. I'll let Albert know later. That's what Positively Awesome Wrestling on Sunday will be about. The new belts in the tournament and then some other things as well. And later this week, we have the fantasy draft between myself, Albert, and our new Wrestle Buddy member, Chris, in which Chris is Raw, Albert is SmackDown, and I represent NXT. And we do a fantasy draft making the best rosters possible. I cannot wait for you guys to watch it. It is great. We have 3 very different rosters, which is the point of it, in my opinion. I think that's how it should be. And it was very competitive at the same time. Very, very, very good stuff. And good deal. I saw some other ones and they weren't using NXT. I'm like, why? It's part of it. Our boy, not Sam Tidy. I was disappointed in his, that's for sure. Ours, though, for Wrestle Buddy will be fantastic. I was very happy with it. I went over and looked at the rosters afterwards. Like, man, this is a really, really cool draft that we did. Very excited. That should come out Wednesday or Thursday. And then also this week, I might possibly be doing another episode of Meet the Wrestle Buddies with the second longest tenured Wrestle Buddy member, Critch. It's Chris, but on YouTube, on Twitter, he's Critch. Hopefully I can make that one happen this week. I'll keep you filled in on that. So with that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you tune in for all the other stuff. And if not, boo on you. That's what I'll say to that. But until Sunday or next Monday, peace, love, I'm out.